Mitchell.
Plus, there is a little bit of an adjustment to Robert Rose that it does affect in a small way the playing time of all the players in the Cannons, and plus just their space on the court. So it will take them a couple of games to acclimatize to each other.
Andrew Goodwin looks up over the top of Ray Bourne and then eventually takes the shot. Missed the lot.
And Michael Mackay, who got the offense rebound, has called for the push in the back on the rebound and wipe the basket away. Will go the other way.
David Ingham looks up as he sees Brett Flanagan at the other end.
That's right. Two of the youngest coaches in the league. David Ingham yet to reach the age of 30.
Like us, Tad.
That's right. Just a couple of young puppies.
30-24 is the scoreline. 6 the difference.
I'll slap myself and wake up and tell myself how really old I am.
Played a game of golden oldies rugby union today. I don't need waking up as to how old I am. Especially tomorrow if I do wake up. 5 points the difference. Make that 4. Perlman putting a lot of pressure on, forces the turnover. Away goes Perlman. Can he convert it? He can't. The Darnell knocked it in. Good work from Perlman with the pressure.
That's right. Aaron Honeyman makes a big mistake and slows down and allows Jamie Perlman to put the pressure. Here comes the Cannons again with another turnover.
Chris Blakemore got an elbow accidental from Ray Bourne. A quick pass up to him. Cut out by Goodwin. All of a sudden, this game is coming to life. We have bodies everywhere as Ray Bourne looks back. It's 30 all. 8 points. The sunglasses are up.
Great pass there from Jamie Perlman, and Ray Bourne is tripped a little bit accidentally, but he goes to the other side of the backboard and lays it in for an easy 2. And Aaron Honeyman will be feeling the pressure right now because Jamie Perlman's going to be all over him.
This is Honeyman now. Perlman is all over him.
He's doing a great job. Aaron Honeyman has no idea where his teammates are.
Ooh, half block shot. It was a good attempt by Mitchell under the circumstances, but he missed it. It's all locked up, 30 all, and we have a tech foul called on David Ingham. Al Cooper made the call, so obviously a few words being said.
I think that reflects back to that Michael Mitchell shot you were speaking of earlier, and there he is.
Very, very quiet now.
Looking out his little frustration, explaining to his players what not to do. Got to just accept the calls and go on about it.
Darnell Mee misses the first. He's not happy about it. Let's have a look at Darnell Mee's score so far. 2 points for the game. And it stays at 2. He's just not getting into his shooting rhythm. 2 points for the game from 5 attempts. Make that 7, including the 2 free throw shots. Brendan Honeyman would love to be able to get a steal back after being embarrassed by Perlman. I think that's a fair call.
Nick Prout's coming to the game for the Cannons as well. That Brendan Aaron Honeyman matchup will be very interesting. A couple of dog squad members, very short, quick players. There's big Nick Prout.
Oh, nice block from Goodwin, but it came down to Robert Rose. Big swat from Goodman.
That's great work from Proud to get the offensive rebound and keep it alive for his teammate Robert Rose to score it.
32-30, the Cannons in front. First time in the match virtually. Nice shot from Goodwin. Getting plenty of court time, and he's doing his coach proud and the Bullets.
Well, that's right. Last night he had quite a bit of playing time in the first half, but didn't see much in the second half against the North Melbourne Giants, so he's out to have a good one tonight. He'd like to play in both halves tonight.
That lead for the Cannons is now gone. 33-32. 1 point lead for the Bullets. Nice work.
And he traveled first. No doubt about it.
Well, it was nice work. Nick Proud set the screen.
The classic pick and roll move, but unfortunately when he caught the ball, he just pitter-pattered a couple of times. referee stopped the game. I think the transfer, Canberra Time Jubilee 70-year transfer is a little bit slippery, and they've called out the boys with the brooms to ride up.
Yep. The sweat mop. 33-32, 1 point the difference, 3 minutes and 12 seconds left in a very low scoring first half. It's 33% shooting for the Cannons, 31% for the Bullets. Both coaches be looking to get well into the 40% before the end of this game, and the team that wins it must get into that percentage, at least. Quick pass to Robert Rose from me. He gets past. Whoa! Gets past Logan. A big slam from Leroy, and Rose just carried on and dropped it in.
And he had a quick look over at Mal Cooper. Now that basket counts, doesn't it, Mal? We'll see on the replay. Not much difference from the last time we saw that similar replay, but this time the referees do count it.
34-33, Cannons back in charge now by just the one. Rose on the free throw line.
And that's the first outing with the Cannons. He's got himself 9 points. And Nick Proud doing a great job to keep the ball alive again on the offensive boards. And here the Cannons again in point guard Brendan Mann.
Blakemore switches it off to Mann. Out to Rose. He thinks about a three-point shot, and he thinks about it long and hard and very good.
The man of the Cannon sits over there disappointed, unable to fire out another goal.
Rose, what a great competitor Robert Rose is too. Good one. This is Woodbury. Nice pass. Super pass from Woodbury. Finds Loggins. Great vision. Brennan Mann sits. So does Proud. On comes Warner.
And Dalton has come on for Andrew Goodwin for the Brisbane Bullets.
2 point lead at the moment to the Cannons as we go into the last 2 minutes of the first half. Close to time to wipe his hands there. Cross to Darnell Mee. Open for a three-point shot. Can't hit it. Darnell Mee's poor shooting percentage continues. Might not try. Would be hand up on the far side. Thinks he can bury another one. He's going to go right past Warner. Comes down for Mitchell. Stolen out of his hands by David Close. Darnell Mee. This is a nice move. Can he connect? He doesn't have to, because he has a super pass off the Warner. He does.
That's the ability of Darnell Mees or Robert Rose gives to your team. They don't need to score. They're great passers. 1:13 left in the second quarter. The home team ahead, 39 to the Brisbane Bullets 35. Let's see what happens in the timeouts here.
Well, they've come back. The Cannons sort of slowly come back. I suppose you look at their shooting percentage. Went down to 33% at one stage. It's back to 37. Darnell Mee, though, that's in bottom left of your screen. Still wondering just what's going wrong with his touch, but he's doing it at other places on the court.
Well, that's right. That's the thing that's so good about imports like Robert Rose, Leroy Logan, and Darnell Mee is that they can do so many things that if they're not scoring as well as you think they should, they still contribute in other areas.
Once you get the penetration, I need you to go to the basket, you go to the basket. This is what they do. Hey, maintain your block here. Okay? You're in on the block. Don't step out. Big men are crowding the outside guys. The inside guys are playing a little bit too. That's it. One thing. Everything we do, they switch.
Brett Flanagan talking to his players.
Okay? I'm a switcher.
As the rap dancers do their thing on centre court. Come along to any basketball game. Do yourself a favour, get along. The atmosphere is super and great for kids. Never forget the first time I brought my son along to watch a game. Never seen the game before in his life. He was standing on the chair, clapping and cheering at the end. He loves it.
Certainly is, and we see the baboon.
Yep, that's what they call it. We ran a competition last week asking basketball fans if they could tell us what the Canberra Times Cannons mascot was. We still haven't got a proper answer. We did get some, but we can't repeat those. 39-35 for the difference. It's the Cannons in charge. We're in the last minute of the first half. came off close, according to referee Bill Mildenhall.
On the 1996 NBL Mitsubishi Challenge, it's such a great competition. The teams are so evenly balanced this year that you just never know on a given night who's going to win.
Competition after the basket. The bouncing surf ball came down for the Cannons. Robert Rose going all the way, missed the shot. Blakemore charged in for the rebound but couldn't get it. Mitchell was the man. This is Leroy Logan for 30 seconds as he looks up at the clock. There's 20 seconds left on the shot clock, so about a 4.5 second difference.
One of the new rules also this year in the NBL is 30-second clock. In previous seasons, at the 20-second mark, a bell would go off. I should say 20 seconds gone in the clock as Steve Woodbury misses the layup. This year there is no warning, so players just have to be aware about the assistance.
2 seconds. Quick shot from Robert Rose. Didn't miss by a long way, but that is the halftime score. Very low scoring first half. 39-35 here at the AIS Arena in Canberra. Stay with us. Get on a cup of coffee. This is the Mitsubishi Challenge. Here's the match statistics from the first half, and I suppose probably the bottom line is the field shot percentage. Absolutely amazing, Tex.
Well, yeah, that's of course is evident in the score, 39-35, very low. That's almost a quarter score sometimes. Both teams are finding it hard to find the basket. You can attribute that to the tough defense both teams are playing. The free throw percentage, the Bullets are leading there, but obviously the Cannons haven't shot very many, so it hasn't affected that much. Rebounds, Cannons in favor there. Pretty close overall, and of course that's indicative of a game that's close, 39-35. I expect that they'll find the basket with a little bit better regularity in the second half, because I think the team's now settled. They've talked about it at halftime, and You have a look here at the top scores. Very balanced scoring on both teams. Low scoring, of course. Robert Rose doing a great job in his first night in the Cannons uniform. And Mike Mitchell and Mike McKay doing it for the Bullets.
As we mentioned, near capacity crowd here in the AIS Arena for this game. Bullets, form team of the competition, and the Canberra Times Cannons, obviously looking to try and hit that type of form. They're 2 from 4 so far in the season. Super win here last week when they set a record in the NBL for a comeback against the Kings in the last quarter. As Rose just misses his shot, comes down for the Bullets. This is Mackay, pulls up as Darnell Lee puts a big hand out. So will both teams be able to bring the crowd back into this game, because they have been very, very quiet. So many shots have been missed. Leroy Loggins, boom.
There's your answer. The old fella, evergreen, Leapin' Leroy.
4-point ball game at half-time. And at the moment, it's a 2-point ball game from Loggins' shot. This is Chris Blakemore, and rat-a-tat-tat down the drain pipe for Blakemore.
Just like he did in the first half. He started off the half with the first half of the three-pointer. Didn't do much after that. I'm sure he's hoping that he'll continue on with it. Simon Dwight reaches in and sends his opponent, that man there with the glasses, Mike Mitchell, to the free throw line.
That is his 4th foul, so that's a little bit of concern for the Cannons. Mike Mitchell steps to the line, 42-37.
Last night, the Bullets, down 5 points at halftime against the North Melbourne Giants, came out like wildfire. Played very well. Remains to be seen if they'll repeat that performance tonight. I think they don't care what they do in the third quarter, as long as at the end of the fourth they're ahead.
That's the name of the game. Robert Rose drops it inside for Simon Dwight, sitting on 4 fouls. To be a little bit careful. Quick pass through from Darnell Meade to Rose. Was cut out by Loggins, who just reads this game so well.
Well, that's right. Great player. I know I've had 3 or 4 assists to Leroy Loggins in my career for dunks, and he's never been on my team. So I threw passes that he caught and said, thank you very much. Tad went down the other end and dunked him. He knows the passing lanes, as you said, so very well.
David Close, long way out, but he hits the 3-point bomb. So David Close, 3 from 5 from 3-point land.
So the inclusion, that concern that you showed, was also evident from Coach Brett Flanagan as he brought Close in early for Dwight. And he repaid him quickly with a 3-pointer.
It's the foul at the other end as Darnell Meade calls his teammates in. Just had a bit of a chat. It looked like he was.
And there's your answer to what those spots were for. The big blue and red spots to put off the opposing team.
Might just have a look at it from behind the shooter's back next time to see what they try and come up with to put off the shooters. They are totally focused though.
And it's all part of the atmosphere that adds to the excitement of coming to an NBL Mitsubishi Challenge basketball game.
45-40 is the scoreline. It's a 5-point break to the Cannons. Blakemore hit both early shots in this second half. A 7-point break. That's the furthest Cannons have been out on the Bullets. Just sort of snuck away. They haven't really dominated. Loggins gets rid of Rose, and it was in and it was out. Bad luck for Loggins. Steal by me. Bad luck for me. Just put his foot on the sideline.
That's right. Everybody in the preseason impressed with that man there, Darnell Meade's defense. And Mark Dalton felt the brunt of it there for a few moments until he stepped out of bounds.
Dalton in good position for the rebound. Cops Darnell Meade in the nose accidentally. Blakemore swatted it out. Dalton once again pulls it up, and this time you can bank on me, he says.
That's right.
47-42. Chris Blakemore Showing his strength, and is it tipped in by Ray Borner? He's marked 4 of them under there. Upset once again, Ray Borner, asking for the foul. On me, ran into Dalton. No apologies from Big Mark Dalton. As he charges in, misses the shot, comes down for Leroy Loggins. Blakemore rushed out to him. Shots astray, comes down for Rose. Quickly to David Place. He'll pull up and shoot if they don't watch out. He waits for support, gives it to Ray Borner. Bullets know his portfolio. They know he's not going to shoot from out in three-point range. He'll come in close, stripped of the ball. Quick hands from Woodbury on occasion. Leroy Loggins, close in position, but you can't stop. Leaping Leroy over the top, 2 points. And that 7-point break is now back to just 3. Borner sits, Nick Proud comes back in. Seen little time with the Cannons in season 96. Carrying an injury the early part of the year, but he looks fully fit now.
Well, that's right. That's going to be his job, is just to come in and just give Ray Borner, Chris Blakemore, Simon Dwight minute breathers here and there.
Defence is very good from the Bullets, and we're talking about the low shooting percentages. The Bullets defence, as is the Cannons defence, excellent so far. To hold the Brisbane Bullets to 31% shooting average after we have gone or 7 minutes 45 left in the third quarter is an effort that any team would be very happy with.
Well, that's right. I mean, both teams, the Cannons have taken 51 shots and the Bullets have taken 49, so they've certainly put up plenty of shots, but the defense, as you talked about, is very good, and the teams are finding it difficult to find the range.
This is Robert Rose, takes 2, there's the foul.
What a great move. Just a little change of pace there along the baseline. Leaves the defender standing, and Andrew Goodwin
he just put up his hands, looked at the case, and said, what do I do?
There it is. Quick change of pace, and he was just put on the turbos. And he is the game's leading scorer with 14 points and 7 rebounds, as you can see there on your screen.
15 points, Robert Rose.
He's making his mark for the Cannons very quickly. That's exactly as you would expect. Well, Loggins complained about the push in the back. The Cannons complaining.
But he stepped out of bounds. So Billy Bimmelhall said 50 of one hand, 50 of another. Let's just play on.
Exactly. That's the way fans like to see it too. Nice move from Blakemore.
Went to the lane with his right hand, switched it to his left, his offhand, and banked it in. That was a terrific move.
52-44. So the Cannons moved into the 40% shooting area. Exactly that, 40%. Nice move, Goodwin, pass Proud. He almost got his own rebound. In fact, he did. Good scrambling, Goodwin. He just can't quite collect the points that he deserved for the effort.
As Darnell Mee shows his ball handling ability, but he hasn't able to slow it up enough to avoid the charge taken by that man, the Tang.
Oh, that was
Mark
like
Dalton.
That was like 10 pins. He skittled them. Watch it. Dalton goes down. So
I'm
does
sorry.
Loggins.
It was Leroy Loggins who took the charge. It was. You're right. 10-pin bowling. He didn't leave any pin standing. He got a strike, but it wasn't the one he wanted.
52-44 scoreline. 8 points the difference. 6:33 left in the third quarter. You're watching the Mitsubishi Challenge coming to you from the AIS Arena in Canberra between the Brisbane Bullets in the blue and the Cannons in the white. As the ball goes bobbling around, Leroy Loggins finally finds some scratch. Robert Rose pointing to Nick Proud, telling him to pick up Dalton. Mitchell can't get through the heavy traffic of the Cannons. Their defence is still very strong. Robert Rose, Leroy Loggins dishes out, open is close, he missed the shot, and away go the Bullets. Did everything right, did Robert Rose. Leroy Loggins, he's open too long to hit that. Oh, he had to.
That's right. We had a hat trick of misses. And it's not, you can bet a lot of money that it's going to be, he's going to hit his fourth one. His timeout is called, 5:56 left in the quarter, and the Cannons 52 and the Brisbane Bullets 47.
Welcome back to Canberra. It's the Mitsubishi Challenge. Cannons taking on the Bullets. At the moment, the Cannons in front. 52-47 in a low-scoring game. Probably highlighted by the defence of both teams. Robert Rose, the new import for the Cannons, moves around with Dunn Lee. They find close, alone on baseline. He doesn't let them down.
That's right. It's his fourth three-pointer. All 12 of his points have come from beyond the arc. He's 4 for 7, shooting it. One of the few people that has shooting a good percentage tonight. Leroy Loggins, for example, is 5 for 17 from the field, leading his team with 14 points.
Dalton doing some big work in the rebounding department. 3-point shot, Mackay liked it.
Just a two-pointer, I think.
Two is it? Just put himself.
Yeah, big right toe just over the line.
Even the court announced thought it was a 3, so I'm forgiven. 55-49, 6-point game. Cannons about out at the moment. 4:38 left in the third quarter. Loggins tries to find his range, can't, and Proud almost knocked Blakemore out of play.
Leroy shot 8 times from the three-point line. Only 2 of them have found the mark.
Robert Rose, Leroy Loggins stripped of the ball, comes down for Woodbury. The crowd like us, Tab, waiting for this game to come to life, really.
That's right. Both teams still a little bit unsettled and taking lots of shots, can't find them, and it's just a really funny sort of game.
Nice shot from Woodbury. He wants some help, or he wants a sub.
These are the type of games, obviously, it's easy to say this, but the team that finds that momentum first very easily could win this game.
It's 55-51 at the moment, 4-point lead to the Cannons. Honeyman comes into the game, as does Pearlman.
That's right. Aaron Honeyman's going to be very careful when Jamie Pearlman is guarding him. Chris Blakemore having a great third quarter, 7 points. 12 points for the game, 7 of them in this first few minutes of this quarter.
Mackay. Oh, nice shot from Mackay again. Worrying sign for the Cannons when Mike Mackay starts to hit them from out wide. He can string 4 or 5 or even 6 together. Rose takes a 3. Amazing shot. Always looked to me as though it was going to be a bit short. Just kept going.
That's right. 18 points. Shooting 54% from the field, so he's not having any difficulty in his first time at the AIS Arena as a home court.
Try again. 8 points in a blink from Mackay. He's now moved on to 16 for the game. Just 2 behind the high scorer, which is Robert Rose. This man here. Bang! Yes, says Robert.
And that brings the crowd in the game as he punches the air, and there's a turnover.
Rose, I talked about a worrying aspect for the Cannons when Mackay started to hit a few long-range ones. Well, that was another very worrying aspect. When Robert Rose starts banging them down, David Close from out wide. Here comes that momentum you were talking about.
That's right.
66-56, a 10-point break to the Cannons, who moved to 44% shooting percentage and almost a cutout. That was a long walk.
That's right. He packed his bags and he took a trip. The referees called it. And that's the momentum. The crowd came into the game, and that little bit of pressure. Deflected pass with a double team on Aaron Honeyman. It's not a great pass. Loggins, in attempting to pull it in, takes an extra step. And 3 straight three-pointers from the Cannons, and the Bullets are looking down the barrel right now. 2 minutes to go in this quarter. The biggest lead of the game.
Oh, nice work. Oh, just got his leg out. I thought they were going to get a turnover.
Right now the Cannons are running Robert Rose off about 45 different screens. Leroy Loggins getting bumped here like a pinball machine, trying to keep in front of him, not to let him get another shot. He realizes the importance of not letting them get it away any further, but he's open.
Oh, Robert
He
Rose.
hits it.
He likes it.
That's a hat trick. He's had 3 in a row.
It's taking him a little while to get his bearings here at his new arena. But he's now starting to come into the game in a 13-point break for the Cannons. Worrying time. Ken Loggins bring them back as he always does.
There's your answer. There's your answer. What an amazing player.
17 points.
David Close. They lead by Rose. Oh, thought for a second he'd go again. Blakemore tries to get past Mitchell. Nice quick hands from Mitchell. Away goes Loggins. He'll drop it in.
Unbelievable. Leroy Loggins at 38 years old leaves Robert Rose in his wake. He just couldn't think that would happen. Robert Rose is fast. And at 38, Leroy's still able to turn on that turbo.
Blakemore this time a little bit more technical. Rose open. Oh, in and out for Rose. Quick turnover. Pullman knocked it away. And Mel Cooper's called the foul on Pullman.
And although it's a late call, a lot of the crowd doesn't like it.
I thought it was fair.
That's right. Too close to rest. Mel Cooper was assuming that one of them saw it, and when they didn't, he came over and helped. That is good refereeing.
And a very important call for the Bullets. They're trying to get back. They were down by 13. They've got it back to 9. Trying to stop that momentum of the Cannons, and that's another way to do it. So, Woodbury brings it back now to 7 with 13 seconds left in this third quarter. Cannons would like to just maybe edge out a little bit more before we come down the championship lane.
He's blowing it. Jimmy Perlman's not aware of the shot clock, and there's a foul.
And Rose almost put it in too.
Well, that's not a bad foul for Mark Dalton because they're not in the bonus situation. That's only the 3rd team foul.
So they have 2.4 seconds on the clock. Side ball. Jamie Perlman will take it.
It's got to be almost a catch and shoot. You won't have much time. That's a travel.
Travel call with 1.5 seconds to go.
And that's the pressure of having to get off a quick shot. This is even going to be a quicker shot. 1.4. Mike Mitchell will just have to heave it.
And here he goes. Long way down. And it was almost in the bucket. Scoreline 69-62. We leave you from the AIS Arena. Come back to us after this break. 69-62 as we run down the championship quarter. We're talking about those shooting percentages, Tad. At one stage, Brisbane were down into the 20% area and the Cannons in the low 30s. Now, the change has been the Cannons are up at 44%, Brisbane at 35, and the scoreline probably reflective of that at 69-62, 7 points towards the Cannons.
Well, that's right. At halftime, it was 39-35, and both teams scored over 30 points just in the third quarter alone, and that's indicative of just what you said, a better shooting percentage from both teams. And that man, Robert Rose, 24 points, and he has three three-pointers in a row in that third quarter. 5 for 10 for the game, so he's at 15 of those 24 points from beyond the three-point arc.
There's that percentage we're talking about, 27 from 61 for the Cannons, 66-23.
And that's Ray Warner shooting the left-handed hook shot off the backboard. Great shot from the Evergreen veteran.
Oh, yes, fair call. Robert Rose, all ball. He stole it out of Woodbury's hand. Darnell Mee drives, takes a tough shot, misses it. Ray Warner pulls it in, goes back out to Mee. Why not give it to Rose? You've got the hot hand, he says to himself. He banks it in.
And that's great play from Darnell Mee. He's unable to hit the basket, and like you said, he knows his teammate Robert Rose is hot. One more pass, and what's the result? 2 points. Good teamwork.
Quite an amazing statistic that Darnell Mee has hit just 2 points for the game. From 8 shots, just 1 has gone down. He's even missed 2 free throws. But Darnell Mee, I know he's been doing a lot of individuals. Just can't get that rhythm, but boy, he's doing it everywhere else.
That's exactly right. He's distributing. He's playing that point guard role very well for the Cannons. And that just demonstrated by the recognition of his teammate Robert Rose with that extra pass.
73-62, it's an 11-point break as Leroy Loggins tried to make it a 9-point break. Worked out hard and came out and dropped the scratch.
He just got away with a double dribble as well.
Missed the second shot. Leroy Loggins is not having a good time from the field either. He has hit 10 shots from 30. Sorry to keep throwing these statistics at you, but they are a little bit unusual, especially for players of this sort of caliber. Chris Blakemore. Mike Mitchell's been tough on him all night.
Chris Blakemore looks at referee Mal Cooper. You didn't hear that sound, ref? A big slap, and as he's demonstrating there. And Mal, I'm sure, is probably telling him hand is part of the ball as Mike Mitchell and Chris Blakemore have a bit of a giggle. I'm sure Mike Mitchell was acknowledging, yeah, you're right, that was a foul. That won't fall. I was going to say if that was fall, I was going to get up and go home because that was just a real tough shot. Good defense there from Mike McCon.
Blakemore was never, ever in position. Did put him off the shot, though. Blakemore's first foul. And actually, both teams in very little foul trouble, other than Simon Dwight, who's on 4. There's only 2 players who've managed to get into any sort of trouble. They're both on 3.
And I'd say both teams are throwing it up a lot from the outside. Canberra have taken 25 three-point shots, and the Bullets have taken 20. And when you shoot a lot from the outside, you don't get to the free throw line very much.
Got it back to 9 points the difference with 9:32 left. And Darnell Mee straight through the traffic, and it still won't fall for Darnell Mee. He can't believe it, and neither can Ray Warner, as it came eventually down to Dalton. I suppose if you're counting the shots, it's probably 8 attempts then.
Well, that's right, and that's a shot that Darnell Mee will make 99 out of 100 times as Leroy Loggins makes another one of those, probably the most difficult shot he's taken all night. He's missed 20 shots, and he makes that one.
73-66. It was an important shot not to fall for the Cannons.
What a great picture there of Leroy Loggins. Trying to convince Nick Horsfall that he got bumped on that last shot. 7-point deficit, 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And Darnell Mee wants to find that basket.
Mike Mitchell thought he got away with it clean. Not according to the referee. And
Robert Rose just slaps hands with Darnell Mee, acknowledging the frustration his teammates feeling.
He's very frustrated at the moment. But don't be too frustrated, Darnell. That's my advice to you. Just look at the scoreboard at the moment, 73-66. Your team's in front. That's probably the bottom line of this whole game.
It is. Robert Rose, another great assist to Ray Borner on an inbounds play.
Ray Borner, no doubt, be loving the play with Robert Rose. Any player. Robert Rose almost cut out the pass. He did cut it out, but unfortunately he put it out. Dalton. Inside to Woodbury. Daniel marking up on him hard. Mike Mitchell, three-point shot. They needed it, the Bullets.
They certainly did.
6 the difference. Remember, it was plus 13 at one stage for the Cannons.
Mike Mitchell with 15 points, 3 of 5 from downtown.
Simon Dwight back into the game, goes to the hoop, takes it. Nice move from Simon Dwight against a class player in Mike Mitchell.
Very interesting statistic, Peter, in that both teams are shooting a higher percentage from beyond the three-point line than they are from inside. Very rarely does that happen in a game.
Darnell Lee called for the foul. Almost like a bear hug.
Three team fouls for the Cannons and only 1 for the Brisbane Bullets. So right now, fouls won't play a part. As the... Oh, and Mike Mitchell won't believe it. As his shades fall off. I'm not sure where that call came from. I wasn't looking very closely, but I just thought he was pivoting. I didn't think he traveled. But there's a lot of things that I think aren't quite true.
I think Mike Mitchell agreed with you. Look at bewilderment in his face as with David Ingham, the coach, who looks up. He knows this game is far from gone, though. It's 8 points the difference, 77-69, 9:51. Mike Mitchell certainly stepped up his intensity, as have all the players. They know it doesn't really matter what's been happening. What a super putt. Daniel Lee might only have 2 points to his name, but boy, is he creating some havoc for the defence of the Bullets. Watch that pass. Woof.
Pulls up for the jump shot, but sees his teammate wide open under the basket, finds him, and Simon says, thank you very much.
10 the difference. Leroy Loggins misses the shot, swatted by Dalton. Perlman takes no chances, gets the ball back. Darnell Mee will have another shot, and a bench lead. Darnell Mee gets wonderful.
And that's a big shot. That takes his team to the biggest lead. 13 points. Dave Ingham's concerned. He's called timeout with his team trailing 82-69.
We have 7 minutes left in this Mitsubishi Challenge match coming to you from the AIS Arena in Canberra. It's the Brisbane Bullets struggling a little bit against the Canberra Cannons. As we see Woodbury attempt to try and bring back the deficit with an air ball, which won't help. Mike Mitchell, quick hands once again. Lobless, and there were quicker hands from Daniel Lee. Wow. Scoreline is 82-69.
Well, you look at the stats and you think, oh, the guy hasn't hardly made any points, and you think, what a terrible game. But if you're here, you know that's not the question. Robert Rose once again finds his teammate, the landlord, Simon Dwight, for an easy basket. But what a great game Darnell Mee's having.
And good defense.
Turnover.
Yeah, well, I suppose you did right. When you look at a player and said, well, he's your import, and he scored 5 points for the game, you'd say he's been very disappointing, but you can't say that against Darnell Mee. His defence and his assists have been super tonight. It says this man, Robert Rose, as you would expect. Darnell Mee, will he go again? Looks for support. He comes out eventually to Rose with the shot. It rolled across the top, but above the timber was Simon Dwight, and the Bullets in big trouble. They now trail by 17 points.
That was a very interesting thing. That man there, Leroy Loggins, had him blocked out, and he thought he had the rebound easy, and then he looked up in bewilderment at these long arms that just took the ball out of his hands and knocked it in off the glass.
Well, the Bullets need something special with 5:53 on the clock. They trail 86-69. Never looked comfortable tonight against this very, very strong Canberra Cannons defence. Darnell Mee, no look pass, straight to Simon Dwight. He missed it. Blakemore fought for the rebound, came down for Dalton, but the quick hands of Jamie Pearlman. They go to Rose, and what is it? It is a foul on Dalton.
And he's called an intentional foul. And I think once again, I mean, this is just my opinion, but I think that intentional foul comes from the point that Mark Dalton questioned the previous call. Mal Cooper,
we'll have a look at it. You saw what Mal Cooper indicated. Well, maybe what? You could see it was almost like a forearm jolt that Dalton gave him.
From that angle, it looks much more of an intentional foul, I have to admit. My apologies, Mal.
Sure he accepts it.
I don't think he really cares one way or the other.
87-69. Brisbane Bullets in a lot of trouble, to say the least.
Well, that's right. 5.5 minutes, 19 points down.
Down the end of a dark road without a torch, without any matches.
Takes a good punter right now to take the ball. It's a funny game, basketball, as we saw last week. At this same place, at the same time.
Simon Dwight, down by Goodwin.
And I'm not saying the Bullets will make a comeback, but they are an explosive team, and they're quite capable of putting points on the board very quickly.
88-69 is the scoreline, 5:18 on the clock. Robert Rose, his debut game for the Cannons. Couldn't have them had a much better one. Darnell Mee couldn't pull in that wild pass. Robert Rose with 28 points. Great defence on Leroy Loggins.
That's right, 9 rebounds as well. So, I mean, he's having that all-around game that we talked about. And that'll be an offensive foul on Andrew Goodwin. Simon Dwight, good position.
The SWAT man.
As you watch here, he'll push off that left arm. There it is, the shoulder dips in, and Simon sent for a ride, but he gets the call.
88-69, Jamie Pearlman takes off. Gonna get some very quick turnovers.
Good pass there from Jamie Pearlman. Steve Woodbury turned his head, and Jamie recognized it. Flicked the pass in there, but the Bullets were able to recover in time.
Darnell Mee virtually wasn't ready for it.
That's right.
4:39 on the clock. Darnell Mee won't miss. Will he? Oh, unbelievable for Darnell Mee. Luke Gribble coming.
Great shot from Mike Kai. David Ingham has brought in Luke Gribble, and Aaron Honeyman is coming off the bench. I'm sure they're going to increase the pressure up the floor, try to create some havoc, some turnovers, score some quick points.
4:14. Quick hands around the outside area by the Cannons. Darnell Mee, Dalton in front of him. He's past Dalton. Across to Blakemore. Blakemore stripped of the ball. Very, very quick hands, Mike Mitchell.
Right now, the Bullets have gone to a very short line. The Cannons are a bit concerned in this lineup change. And even though they have a 16-point lead, they'll go into the timeout and talk about it.
The scoreline is 88-72. That's a 16-point break, and I would say with under 5 minutes to go, that lady is in the car, out of the car park, and on her way down Ginninderra Drive.
I agree with you there. This guy here we're looking at, David Ingham, disagrees with you. He's going to put his charges out there. He's got an unorthodox lineup with both Luke Gribble and Aaron Honeyman on the court at the same time. He's hoping to put some pressure on the Cannons guards, and I'm sure there'll be full court pressure now, trying to create some turnovers, hit some quick threes. The only problem with that lineup is neither Gribble or Aaron Honeyman have played much time during the game, and that's going to hurt them if they have to hit down the threes. But with the excitement and adrenaline flow, Coach Ingham is hoping that that's going to happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we'd like to thank
4 minutes and 1 second left on the clock here at the AIS Arena in Canberra. You're not too disappointed up there for the Brisbane fans and the performance of your team. You've come up against a very strong defensive lineup in the Canberra Cannons on their home court. Of course, the Bullets had such a tough game last night when they lost in overtime to North Melbourne Giants.
Robert Rose has now got a double-double. 28 points, 10 rebounds. Great first-up game for him, and Cannons quite rightly recognized the mismatch. Aaron Honeyman cannot guard Robert Rose inside, and all he can do is foul and put Mr. Rose to the line.
88-72, 3:39 on the clock. To the end of the game.
And I think this dynamic duo, this man here and Darnell Mee, are going to create a lot of pleasure for teams, not only here at the arena, but on the road as well. They just play the game the way it's meant to be played. Although Robert Rose disappointed missing that free throw, they're not perfect.
He gets one of the two. He's on to 29 points. Quickly, they'll have to shoot. Mackay looks like a nice shot. It's a beauty. Drive, 22 points for the game. 89-75. Trying for the cutout. They almost get it. People got his hands to the Mee pass. Perlman, he'll just stand there all day. Let the clock tick away. Pass was inside. It was quick, but it was cut out. It was read by Mitchell. Across they come. Mackay again. He hits another three, and all of a sudden,
it's an 11-point game. It's a funny game, and they've created the turnovers, and they've hit the big threes, and that man, Michael Mackay, it's just a matter. They've got to keep it up. The Cannons can't afford to get negative. Quite often, teams in this situation play not to lose instead of playing to win. And that's like we always say. It's a funny game. Momentum switches, and you never know what happens.
Darnell Mee runs away from Mackay and Mitchell. Nice pass to Blakemore, who's open and hits a very important steadying shot.
That's right. Good solid offense from the Cannons there. And once again, that man, Darnell Mee.
Mackay again. They want him to hit again. This time it's an air ball. And that will be.
What a great save from Luke Gribble.
Yeah.
Dives out of bounds, throws it off Robert Rose.
He just didn't think he'd have any chance in the world of getting there. We have a timeout called by the Bullets. The scoreline 91-78. It's a 13-point break. I didn't give them any chance. Those 2 3-points gave them a glimmer.
Well, 3 minutes.
Maybe the fat lady's got a blinker on.
That's right. Maybe a little bit of car trouble.
Why is this the fat man? I suppose that's a bit sexist. We always say the fat lady when she packs up and leaves. I think we might say the fat man from now on.
Yeah,
Let's be fair.
Well, but when you think about it, you look at those operas, usually it's the fat lady singing, isn't it?
Yeah, she's the last one.
Unless it's Pavarotti out there, and he's a fat man.
91-78 is the scoreline. 13 points between these two sides.
someone has to pick up long.
Just a few minutes left in the game. Bullets have never ever looked like winning it virtually since half-time. They trailed by 4. They trailed by 7 at three-quarter time. We have 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Clock is on the side of the Cannons. Shots have to come quick from the Bullets. At the same time, they have to be active. Pulls out, three-point area. Mitchell doesn't get the bounce he wanted. Darnell Mead grabbed the scraps.
In my mind, that was a mistake by Michael Mitchell. He had a good open 2-point shot, and he stepped back to take a more difficult 3-point shot and lost a little bit of the 13-point deficit. There's no problem with the 2-point basket in there. As Luke Gribble gets a quick basket, you got to put the pressure up now, and I'm sure the Bullets will, hoping to create another turnover.
93-80 is the scoreline. 13 points the difference between these two sides. Pearlman fouled by Honeyman. Won't put him to the line. Yes, it will. That's 5 team fouls against them in this quarter.
It's not a bad foul. It happened early in the 30-second clock, and if Pearlman misses one or both, and it's a good foul, and they get the ball back, and away they go. Fans have to remember there is a rule change in this last 3 minutes. Every time the basket goes through the net, the clock stops. It doesn't continue to run. In past years, from field goals, the clock just continues to run as the opposing team takes the ball out of the basket.
Puts on the afterburner. Out to Mitchell. Gribble. Bit of a walk. Comes from the pressure. 94-80. 14 the difference.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the Bullets bench. They don't look very happy. And the scoreline is the reason. 1:40 left. Darnell Mead weaving his way through the traffic. 33 on the clock. Goes to Mead. Fouled by Gribble. They haven't given up the Bullets.
Well, at this stage, 1 minute, 1.5 minutes, it's not an impossibility, but certainly I'd say that fat man or fat lady is definitely out of the car.
That person is left.
That's right, there we go. Gender correctness there.
Well, I suppose it's not fair to the fat people as well.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
We'll come up with something next game. 96-80, 1:27 on the clock. Cannons in charge. Woodbury has to take a difficult shot, and it reflects how difficult the shot was as Robert Rose comes away. Honeyman picks up the handle on it, and Darnell Mee called for the foul.
A real touch-and-go place. Darnell Mee anticipated that Mike Mackay was going left, got there pretty quickly, and we'll have a look here. Anticipated, got there pretty quickly, and there's the call that referees would probably call 50% each way.
96-80, 1 minute and 11 seconds on the clock here. This will be in and up, I would assume. Oh, threw it straight at Darnell Mee. I think what's happened. Out to Mitchell. He takes the shot. Missed it. Darnell Mee pulls it in.
Oh, that's the thing about Rose and Mee. They're both just such great all-around players. I mean, both of them are able just to dominate on the boards, penetrate, create things, hit the shots, play the big B. Cannons have to be very excited about their chances this year.
Darnell Mee drives through the traffic. Can't get it in, but pulls it in. Fortunately, he stood on the baseline. 41 seconds left on the clock. Plenty of ball movement, but not many points from the Bullets. Dribble, gets rid of close, takes a three-point shot, hits it. 96-83, 30 seconds left. We're not giving up.
That's right. This last couple minutes in situations like this can last 3 hours. So they walk that 90 feet back for him as they shoot those free throws, hoping that he's going to miss them and that they can go down and hit that three. And every once in a while, it does provide one of those great finishes. I'm not sure tonight's going to be that night.
I like your optimism, Tad. I've got to say that. But then again, I said to you last week, if the Canberra Cannons had any chance down by 19 going into the last quarter, and I had written them off, you didn't. You were right. Amazing. It was amazing.
Well, I have seen Isaiah Thomas score 11 points in 9 seconds. So funny things do happen.
Up to David Close. He pulls up for a quick three-point shot. Misses it. Almost tipped in by Blakemore. It's 98-85 with 12 seconds left. Dribble, gives it to Mitchell. I'll have a shot, okay. Ran across the top. Mackay, little hook shot, takes 2. But we have only seconds left in the game. In fact, we have no seconds left in the game. That is it. That's the scoreline. And David Close hands the ball to the opposition. Comprehensive win in the end, 98-87 to the Cannons. And we'll be back to wrap up this win after the break.
Excellent, big fella. Not much trouble settling in, huh?
No, not really.
What's up, Junior?
No, he's not.
A great win here at the AIS Arena. First home performance for Robert Rose. I guess a little hiccup last week when you weren't able to play. Only 2 weeks to settle in with the team, but in a scrappy game where most players were having it very difficult to find the hole, you found it very easy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess the extra week off, I really didn't want the extra week off, but I guess the extra week off gave me a little bit more time to settle in and get the plays down and get to know some of the guys I didn't know a little bit better. And, you know, my shot was going a little bit tonight, so, yeah, I was kind of pleased with that.
And the other thing very interesting with your team this year is both you and Darnell Mee, very similar type of players, sharing the point guard roles in between you?
Yeah, not a problem at all. I mean, Darnell, he's very good handle, very quick, gets to the basket very easily. And if he doesn't have the shot, he can just give it up to one of the big guys down low. But, yeah, we'll definitely share the point guard spot this year, and I don't have a problem with that at all.
And with the Australian content of the team this year, Dwight, Blakemore, Borner, Perlman, Close, you must like your chances this year in Canberra.
Well, I've always said, no matter where I've been, you're only going to win if you have good Australian talent, and we definitely have some good Australian talent here. And like I said, very pleased to be here, and I'm happy with the way the guys playing so far.
Well, great game, Robert, and we look forward to seeing you the rest of the year.
Thanks, Ted.
Great game, Robert Rose.
Good.
Okay. All right. Freshman here. All right.
If you can look a bit tough, because you've just come to me.
A great win here at the